Family has always been considered the cornerstone of life. From childhood through middle age, our relationships with parents, siblings, children, and extended family shape our identity, influence our decisions, and provide emotional grounding. For decades, family often sits at the center of everything we do. Much of our time, energy, and purpose revolves around caring for others, meeting expectations, and fulfilling roles that feel necessary and meaningful. But life after 60 brings a new perspective, a quieter, clearer perspective, one that changes the way we see family, relationships, and expectations. Siblings may live far away, drift apart, or face challenges related to health, finances, or personal struggles. Parents and older relatives may no longer be present. These changes can feel unsettling at first, especially when family has been a constant source of identity for so long. Yet over time, these changes bring clarity. With age comes the ability to see relationships not as obligations, but as evolving connections. Life after 60 invites us to understand family in a deeper, more realistic way, one that leads to peace rather than disappointment. This stage of life teaches us that relationships are living things. They grow, change, and sometimes fade, not because love disappears, but because life moves forward. One of the hardest realizations after 60 is understanding that family may not always prioritize you. Adult children are often focused on careers, raising their own families, and managing their responsibilities. Siblings may be absorbed in their own health concerns or personal challenges. Extended family members may be inconsistent in their presence or support. This realization can feel painful, especially after years of being the one who gave, supported, and sacrificed. Many people in their retirement years quietly struggle with feelings of being overlooked or forgotten. But this does not mean your family does not love you. It reflects the natural flow of life. Time, energy, and attention become limited for everyone, regardless of age. At this stage of life, emotional independence becomes essential. Peace comes from learning not to rely entirely on family validation or attention. When you release the expectation that others must meet all your emotional needs, disappointment loses its grip. What replaces it is quiet strength, emotional maturity, and inner stability. Another important realization in life after 60 is that family relationships naturally change with age. The children who once depended on you now stand on their own. Parents, if still alive, may need care rather than guidance. Sibling relationships that once felt effortless may shift due to distance, lifestyle differences, or unresolved history that surfaces later in life. These changes are not failures. They are natural transitions. Resisting them often leads to frustration, resentment, or emotional exhaustion. Accepting them brings understanding and calm. Acceptance does not mean indifference. It means choosing peace over control. As you age, your role within the family becomes more intentional. You no longer need to manage everyone's emotions or solve every problem. Instead, you can focus on meaningful conversations, respectful boundaries, and relationships that feel mutual and balanced. Quality begins to matter far more than quantity. A few sincere connections often bring more fulfillment than many strained ones. Life after 60 also reveals a deeper truth about family. It is not only a source of comfort, but also a source of lessons. Family interactions can teach patience, acceptance, forgiveness, and emotional resilience. These lessons often arrive quietly, through moments of misunderstanding, distance, or unmet expectations. Children may make choices you don't agree with. Siblings may reopen old wounds. Family disagreements may highlight the importance of self-respect and healthy boundaries. These moments are not punishments. They are invitations to grow. With wisdom comes the understanding that family is not perfect. Love exists, but it does not always show up in the way we expect. Intentions may be good, even when actions fall short. Accepting this truth creates space for compassion both for others and for yourself. Perhaps the most liberating realization after 60 is this: your happiness does not depend on family. Family can enrich life, but it cannot be the sole foundation of fulfillment. Children may live far away. Siblings may disappoint. Circumstances such as health, distance, or unresolved conflict may affect closeness. With time and experience, the soul begins to understand that lasting peace comes from within. Happiness grows through self-awareness, purpose, meaningful connections beyond family, and alignment with personal or spiritual values. This realization is not sad, it is empowering. It allows you to enjoy family without emotional dependence. It gives you permission to appreciate relationships without being wounded by unmet expectations. It frees you to live fully even when circumstances are imperfect. Understanding these truths is only the beginning. Living them requires gentle adjustments. Adjusting expectations is one of the most powerful steps you can take in later life. When you accept people as they are, relationships feel lighter. When you stop measuring love by attention or availability, peace grows. Focusing on quality moments rather than constant contact deepens connection. Setting healthy boundaries protects your energy and preserves emotional balance. Investing in personal growth through hobbies, learning, creativity, travel, or community adds meaning that does not rely on family alone. Forgiveness also becomes essential, not because others are flawless, but because peace is valuable. Holding on to resentment weighs heavily in later years. Compassion for others and for yourself lightens that weight. Seeking connection outside the family is equally important. Friendships, social groups, shared interests, and community involvement provide joy, belonging, and emotional support that enrich life after 60. Gratitude shifts perspective. When attention moves from what is missing to what is present, contentment naturally grows. So, in last, I will say life after 60 brings clarity about family. You begin to see relationships as they truly are, not as you once hoped they would be. Family may not always prioritize you. Relationships naturally change with age. Family teaches lessons as much as it offers support. And most importantly, your happiness does not depend on anyone else. Accepting these truths allows you to live with wisdom, patience, and peace. You no longer chase approval or exhaust yourself trying to fix what is beyond your control. Instead, you focus on meaningful connection, emotional independence, and inner fulfillment. Family remains important, but your peace matters more. Your purpose matters more. Your happiness matters more. And when you place those first, life after 60 becomes not only calmer but deeply fulfilling.